So many of us think that our money struggles are, well, about money. That if we just had more of it, everything would be fine. But what if that's not the real story? What if the reason it's so hard to get ahead financially has almost nothing to do with money at all? It's the big question, right? Why is it such an uphill battle? You work hard, you try to do the right things, but it feels like you're just treading water. Well, let's really dig into that, because the answer isn't about working longer hours or getting a pay raise. The real problem, it's much, much deeper.
And this quote from Myron Golden, man, it just hits the nail on the head. We all have this default setting that thinks, oh, if I just had more money, all my problems would vanish. But the truth? More money usually just pours gasoline on the fire. It amplifies the real issue that was already there.
All right, so if more money isn't the solution, what is the real problem here? We're about to pull back the curtain on the true foundation of pretty much all financial struggles. And it all starts with something inside your own head called your money story. Okay, so this is the absolute core of it all. Your money story is like the operating system running in the background of your mind. It's all your subconscious beliefs about what money is, what it's for, and your relationship with it. And look, this isn't about judgment, it's a diagnosis. Plain and simple. If your financial life is broken, it's because your money story is broken.
So, what does a broken money story even look like out in the real world? Well, it often shows up as an invisible ceiling we place on ourselves, a limit on what we believe is even possible.
Let me give you a perfect example. Way back in 1987, Myron Golden figured that making $300 a week would be amazing. And you know why? Because his rent was only $250 a month. See, his money story set the bar super low. The goal wasn't to build wealth, it was just to scrape by. That belief was the real problem, not the size of his paycheck.
And you might be wondering, where the heck do we even get these stories? Well, we soak them up from everywhere, especially when we're kids. I mean, just look at our superheroes. The good guys, like Spider-Man and Superman, are usually broke. And the villains? They're the billionaires. Lex Luthor, the Green Goblin. We don't even realize it's happening, but we're being programmed to see wealth as evil and poverty as noble.
It's even baked right into our language. Think about the phrases we use. We don't just say someone is rich, we say they're filthy rich. We tell our kids to wash their hands after they touch money as if it's dirty. We hear these ideas that money will ruin you or that it's some kind of spiritual barrier. I mean, with all that negativity, is it any wonder we subconsciously try to get rid of it? Okay, so that's the problem. A broken money story. But here's the good news. The really good news. You can totally fix it. You are the author. You can rewrite that entire narrative. So let's get into the 3 keys to make that happen. It really boils down to these 3 massive pillars. First, you have to change the meaning you give to money. Second, you got to rethink the entire way you make money. And third, you need to relearn how to manage it. Let's break them down, one by one. So step 1 is all about meaning. Instead of seeing money as this filthy or evil thing, what if you reframed it? What if you started seeing it as a powerful tool for good? A tool to support charities you care about, to give your family an amazing life, to set your kids up for incredible success. The moment money becomes a force for good in your mind, you'll stop pushing it away. All right, step 2, let's tackle how you make money. See, most of us are stuck in this trap of trading our time for dollars. The problem is you only have 24 hours in a day. That's a hard limit. Real wealth is built when you disconnect your income from your time. This is called leveraged income. It's the magic of doing the work once and getting paid for it again and again and again. And if you want to see just how powerful this is, get this. Myron Golden wrote a book 5 years ago. He did that work one time, just last year. That single book generated $180,000 in income. That's incredible. It's making money while he sleeps. That's the power of leverage. It could be a book, a course, a brand, anything that works for you when you're not working. And that brings us to step 3, managing your money. Now hold on. This isn't about some super strict, miserable budget where you can't buy a cup of coffee. No, it's simply about respecting money enough to make sure your outgo doesn't crush your income. It's just common sense. Don't let the cost of upkeep become your downfall. Okay, so how do we pull all of these ideas together into a simple plan you can actually use? Well, that's where the awesome 4S Money Framework comes into play. It's your blueprint. This framework is brilliant because it gives you a clear order of operations. You start with your story. That's job number one, fixing those core beliefs. From there, you develop your style, which is how you behave with money every day. You become a creator and a giver. Next up is your strategy, which is how you're specifically going to generate that leveraged income. And finally, you wrap it all up in a system, a repeatable process that makes the whole thing work like clockwork. Let's zoom in on that style piece for a second. The ideal mindset is to be a conservative creator. That means you see every dollar as a seed to create more. And a generous giver, putting your money to work, making the world better. The one you have to avoid at all costs is the super spender, the person who just buys stuff because they can. That's a recipe for disaster. So, we've gone through the problem. We've laid out the solution. We've even got a framework. The only question left is, what's next for you? What does your personal path to success look like? Look, if there is just one thing you remember from all of this, please let it be this. Everything you do with money, every single behavior, flows directly from your beliefs. You cannot change your actions for good until you change the story you're telling yourself. I promise you, fix the story first, and a new financial life will follow. It has to. And I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Myron Golden says that out of all the people closest to him, he can count on one hand how many have ever asked him for the secrets to getting rich. Their money story is so broken, it won't even let them ask the question that could change everything. So the final question is, will yours?